thanks for tuning in to this week's Week 14 weekly recap. Four-day week, and I traded a stock every day this week. Not bad in the beginning, then again towards the end of the week I just get sloppy. So let's go into it, and then in the end I want to say some things for next week. So I started off here with RCON. This is when it released some good news about a mix with blockchain and shopping. So most companies that release blockchain news, as of recently, it's been kind of spotty on whether they take off or not. But what caught my attention with this is it aligned itself with something other than just blockchain shopping. There's a new twist on it, so that got me interested, especially with this spike pre-market, and it spiked again at the market open from roughly 250 up to 340, and then it had this pullback. And this is what I was getting into. I saw this consolidating or basing action here in the low 250s, and I was wanting it to get back up to the 340 high here, and I wanted to base and then make them higher low than buy in. But when I saw this here, this got me interested because I was thinking maybe this could do it now. Super low float stock, not super low, but low float stock, and market cap was pretty low too, and it's got the news, and that's what I'm thinking here around 10 o'clock. So it pulls back. I got in on this red candle right here, in at 289. Because again, I just thought it would spike right then, but it did pull back. My risk was this low. Really quick spike then. I didn't have to be terribly patient. And then we got, let me show you this. So my original thinking was to sell half here at the day high because you don't know if it's going to crack it. Also, if we want to look back where resistance is, so I was looking off of these highs, especially this high most recently. Yeah, it's this one around 270, but it's also highs around 3ish. So 273, you can see major volume, and at the beginning of the day this wasn't obviously this high, so you can look back here at the little $4 million days, but this was the main one around this 270. So I mean, it has some support around this area, not terribly much, but then, so again, this was so I sold half here at actually 335 in case it did double top. I held the rest into, I maintained one pullback here, and then right around here, around the 4 level mark, it also had resistance, and I just wanted to lock it in because that was a monster gain for me. Sold the other half at 4 then, and we got a little higher up to 5. Didn't miss out on much, so overall I was happy with that trade. Quickly just getting into TEUM, I was trading this the next day. And my mentality with this, if we want to look at the multi-day chart, it's been running up. And we had this kind of base forming here, which has been these past couple of days. You can see it was dropping down. It set in higher low here, counting that as a base. But what actually got me interested was this pre-market spike up, and it came back down. I like to catch these in the dips then at market open. And I've seen them happen where they spike up, then come back down. They dip, then at the open and continue to spike. But most of these patterns that I've seen is spike, pre-market, then consolidate, then dip and spike. So a slight change. Because I had seen this pattern, I didn't mind taking a shot at it. So dipping down, I got in somewhere here in the 229s, and I was risking actually yesterday's 225. It was a pretty tight risk, and then it just cracked it here and I got out. But I mean, not really right, because I was thinking you could get back, maybe back up to these pre-market highs, or at least like 243, but we didn't get that, and yeah, again, it stopped me out here. What it did stop at is 220, which is kind of the low over here. I thought this would be more significant, but I mean, that was the one, but don't really mind missing it because it wasn't a perfect pattern up here pre-market, and I mean, it didn't really do much anyway. So that was just TEUM. SPI was Thursday. That was yesterday. Trading in here. This was the start of the problem of the week. I don't regret the first two trades. The last two, yes, I do regret. Coming out with some crypto wallet news. So again, we're switching up instead of just going Bitcoin or just crypto. We're adding something into it, and that's what the news that I've seen that's really been affecting price action here. You can see it went from 88 all the way up to 135 in just the pre-market. So this this news is really affecting the stock price. So I saw all this, and I actually wanted it to tank, or at least pull back a bit. I wanted it to. I was watching it here. I didn't want to buy it here. I wanted to break out, go green on the day. So that's why I didn't dip buy it. I was really thinking about it. I actually almost did, but then it couldn't even break out, so that was the right decision. And then here you can see this curling, basing and curling action, holding its highs, gains. So in here, this was where my mistake was. So you can see the open price was at 126, and in here, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was taking my position at 125, but on this, I think it was on this red candle right here, but I was anticipating the breakout. I was anticipating it because a bunch of stocks have been breaking out. I was anticipating it. I thought I could do it. But if I have the goal of selling it when it has momentum going green, and when I say green, I mean green realistically, like these little candle ticks outside, that's not being realistic with the stock. That's not a full confirmed breakout. And I'm just pinching pennies right here. I mean, I bought it at 125. I'm getting excited over 1 cent. Like, that's not worth the loss. It's such a big momentum change when it goes green. But like, yeah, it didn't do that. I wasn't patient enough. I think I might have seen it break out and then come back down, but it needs to be really confirmed. It needs to be a real move. Even though there's an increase in volume, it's still going to do it. It just had selling pressure. So I ended up cutting this for a loss in 118 down here. They tried again and actually did succeed, but this didn't go too far up. Maybe 140 was the top. And I was surprised at that. I thought this had some legs, but died down again. So I regret that. I need to abide by my rules a little better. And today, Ford, I was trading this. This was the big mover. This was just the icing on the top right here that screwed up my mindset this week. So we had news pre-market. It acquired a new company. And so this, I want to look at resistance points here. So the first one right here, you can see this volume, heavy volume, about roughly 15 million this day, and it's topping out at 3. Okay, this is pretty weak, only 10 million volume compared to that. So I didn't really look at this 4 level. But if you come back here, 450 roughly, where it's close to 60 million. So $3 and $4.50. Top chart here at $3. So I thought it was done. I thought the move was over. Big gap up, small spike, done. It was coming down, but this higher low got me interested, and I was so tempted to buy right here. I saw that higher low, but I didn't. I don't know why, because this is basically the same move as RCO at the beginning of the week when I bought the little midday or the little bounce breakout. So I'd be buying it right here. And I saw this, and I was tempted, but I obviously didn't pull the trigger. And then I was trying to get it at 3 because I knew 3 would be a big breakout level. And I'm surprised it got up here, filled this gap all the way up here in 1 minute. I didn't really believe that it could do it, but it did, and then it got halted, and the entry, the perfect entry would have been around 3, or even down here. That would have been good. But what I did was first halt, and then it came up here, cracked up here to $4, and this is one of my errors. I made a lot. I was watching this, and I was using this wrong resistance level. I was using this resistance level at 4, which, I mean, you can make a case for, but again, like I said, it's not even 10, it's more like 5 or 6 million. So it's not a ton of resistance. But my thought mentality was, oh, it's hanging above 4. And I think I bought on this candle, I bought at 426 when it broke this first green candle high, and nope, sorry, this one. So yeah, I was getting in on this green candle, and my thought mentality was, yes, it has big wicks up and down, but it's holding above 4. And even after I bought, I was still optimistic about it because it was holding its highs. It had these big wicks at the bottom, meaning that dip buyers were there. And I held all this, and it actually got stopped out here. Got scared that I was just going to tank. Got out of 390. My risk was terrible. And the worst part of it was my position size. But put that aside, and I'm still pretty surprised. If I would have seen that 445, I would have just gotten out. I wouldn't have even gotten in the trade. So that was my own faulty due diligence. But just a chase right here. I was chasing, that's it. I thought this was under. I thought I could do more for it being above the $4 mark, consolidating, and also because it only did one halt. But I've got to remember how much this is up from yesterday. This was trading at 124, and now it's up to 450. Greedy chase, but overall this week I'm glad I did get in this, because now I think my mentality is a lot better, that I will stick and be more disciplined in my trading and not do stupid stuff like this. If I miss this entry, okay, it's spiked up. Try to get this one. If I miss this one, then I mean, the play in this sense is over for me. So I don't know why I try to chase it. Well, I do know I'm greedy, but yeah, that's what I'm going to work on next week. Definitely try to get my patterns under control. And I think the biggest thing for me is just discipline and sticking to what I've been tracking and what I know. So hopefully you guys all have been doing better. And what is this, the second, third week of January? So good luck this coming Monday, and I hope we all do well and learn a lot.